Hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm going to be talking about the methods and interventions that are used in music therapy. Now, many music therapists incorporate components from various approaches and models in their work, but some do like to follow a specific approach for their music therapy services. These approaches include the psychotherapeutic orientations of the psychodynamic approach, the humanistic approach, and the cognitive behavioral approach. There are also specific approaches that people like to follow and get certified in. One of them is the Nordoff-Robbins approach, which started with a particular interest for children who were disabled. And this has opened up to more populations, but it focuses a lot on the creation of music, and it involves a lot of improvisation. The Bonney method of guided imagery in music uses, of course, a lot of imagery to be able to incorporate with music in order to help create this mental imagery to help patients with any issues they might have psychologically and even physiologically. Neurologic music therapy, also known as NMT, it's based on neuroscience, so it's very, very heavily based on the influence of the brain and the brain's behaviors. Community music therapy has a purpose of trying to incorporate a person to be more involved within their community. When it comes to the music therapy process, there are certain things that we follow. When we start receiving clients, we use that based on referrals. That can be referrals from other healthcare professionals or agencies seeking out that music therapy for specific clients. In the first session, it might take more than one session to create an assessment that is done on the client to evaluate the client's needs and their strengths or their challenges that we need to work on. After the assessment is done, a treatment plan is made with goals that will provide an estimated timeline and frequency of working with the client to meet the client's needs. After the treatment plan is done, implementation is very important to incorporate goals and objectives that we've created for the clients based on their treatment plan. Sometimes the treatment plan is reevaluated after a certain period of time to see if there needs to be any changes for the client's best benefits. At some point, the client might be ready for the end of music therapy services, so that would be considered termination. When doing an assessment and creating a treatment plan, goals and objectives are created. There are different aspects that you would consider to create these goals and objectives depending on the client. For physical goals in music therapy, that would include expanding their range of motion, improving their gross motor skills and fine motor skills, pain management, increasing and improving breath capacity, working on balance and endurance, also working on coordination, and gait training. Social goals can include improving eye contact, learning appropriate greetings and salutations, enhancing their confidence in peer interaction, improving and increasing participation, improving their listening skills and attention to task, having more confidence and independence in making choices, being able to work in a group, and sharing and turn-taking. Some cognitive and behavioral goals could include working on memory, increasing attention to task, following directions, sequencing, identification and discrimination, identifying colors, counting, and reading and writing. Some emotional and spiritual goals include increasing the emotional awareness, improving appropriate emotional expression, mood elevation, decreasing stress and anxiety, improving coping skills, providing a sense of accomplishment, and fostering creativity and imagination. There are 4 basic types of interventions in music therapy. One is receptive, for example, like when you're listening to a song. Another one is composition, like as if you're writing a song or creating a song on your own, whether it be the lyrics or the music or both. Recreating a song, where you play with an instrument or sing a song that is already created. And improvisation, where you play spontaneously in the moment. Going more specifically into these interventions, lyric analysis would go deeper into the meaning of the songs. Song composition, of course, would involve writing your own song lyrics. Music-guided movement activity would involve movement of the body and dancing. There are also music-guided relaxation interventions. Instrument play could include a wide variation of instruments, from guitar to drums to other percussive instruments. The piano is quite often used as well. There is also receptive music listening. With musical improvisation, that is when we create spontaneously in the moment. A life legacy project is usually used for hospice or palliative care. There is individual and group drumming, like drum circles. And there are specific interventions that are specialized, where you need to receive certification and training for it. And some of that includes RAS, which is rhythmic auditory stimulation, TIMP, therapeutic instrumental music performance, and MIT, melodic intonation therapy. Thank you so much for joining us today and learning a little bit more about methods and approaches and interventions used in music therapy.